riding for real. I must say it's an honor and a pleasure.
I'm getting a lot of distortion. I can't really hear what you're saying.
Oh, hold up. How about now?
A little better.
Yeah, I still want to get a new helmet.
Oh, see? That's what I'm talking about.
I don't mind a slow fuck up, but like a quick instant fuck up is like life or death.
Yeah, that's why lane position is super critical in traffic like this. Like, you don't know what the semi is going to be doing coming up here. So I'll usually like drop a few gears. Wow, I can hear my exhaust through your mic. Alright.
Woo! We like the party. Throw up some peace signs for the old guy with the ape hanger.
Yeah. Apes bother me.
Why so?
Well, for one, your arms are hanging up in the air, so all the blood kind of drains down over time. And it's just not a very healthy position to ride in. Yep. And then two, you're putting your the point-to-point distance between the wheel and where you've actually got control of the wheel really far out. So, so it kind of defeats the purpose. Like, wide handlebars make it a lot easier to throw a bike around.
Yeah.
Because you've got more torque the further out you go. But that's why clip-ons will be a little bit harder to push. But ape hangers, if they're not super wide and they're not low enough, like it just kind of, it's the worst of both worlds. I don't get why anybody would do it.
The worst of both worlds.
Yeah, it's just like a big fashion statement.
I was just about to say, I can tell you exactly why they do it. Style over all.
Yep.
Hey.
Yeah, and it's funny seeing all the little cafe fairings getting popular now since Sons of Anarchy came out. Like, those were almost non-existent. They were kind of frowned upon back in the 80s and 90s with the Harley crowd that I was riding with. Well, and going to like...
Well, I mean, you know why? Because those things block bullets. I mean, if you've seen Sons of Anarchy...
yeah, a little ping, ping, ping.
Like, spray them up, and then they're just like... Now one person got shot in a shootout while they had their bikes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's like, no, you don't use a motorcycle as cover.
They're like, oh shit, that's what they're for. Okay, yeah, I need to get one. Hell, I'm waiting for them to come out for those for my bike.
Yep. I guess you could theoretically get bulletproof glass made for your fairing, but it would be heavy. It'd like defeat the purpose. It's like at that point, just get a truck.
I'll tell you what, Rob, if I'm ever doing something and people are shooting at me, like...
I just ride away. Like, why hang out?
Just do it, dude.
It's like, you want to be the smallest target possible when people are shooting at you. Why would you just hang out there? Oh, when we start our vlogs, we should probably do like a sync clap.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I started doing that for my, I'll either sync up with the point where I press the button on my GoPro, or I'll clap. It works
I wonder
pretty well.
if there's an app that does like a sync clap or something that releases like a specific noise that you can...
Yeah.
Because that would be really cool. I don't want to have to carry around 2 pieces of wood to like...
The wood blocks.
Yeah. In the age of technology, we still pull out some retro shit. Hey, you know what? I like anybody who's on 2 wheels. There's no Vespa, freaking trike, Can-Am Spider, whatever. Yeah. If you're on a motorcycle-like vehicle and you're having a good time, I can't hate.
Yeah, as long as they've got a good attitude.
Yeah. And the more of them out there, the more people in cars get used to seeing them, the more likely we are to not be in perilous situations, I hope, is the thought behind that statement.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about California is there's so many bikes out all the time that drivers, for the most part, are pretty respectful. But you still get the occasional dickhead.
I'm like, Oh, you're in the sun. I'm in the shade thanks to this
It's
truck.
96 degrees. It's like, I think I need to start lane splitting. I was surprised though, this carbon fiber helmet does not get very hot. It's mostly the rest of my body.
How's the noise inside your helmet, even without earplugs?
What was that?
How's the noise? Wait.
Oh, it's really quiet. It's got the chin spoiler, and then I've got the track strip on the back.
Yeah.
And it has like hardly any drag whatsoever. Really lightweight, so I can move my head around without a lot of buffeting. Really good airflow. Like at this speed right now, it feels like a fan is kind of gently blowing on me.
Okay.
And then the heat, surprisingly, it's like the carbon fiber doesn't seem to really want to absorb the heat too much.
Okay.
So it stays, it wasn't too terribly bad, even out in Palm Springs when it was like 108. I was mostly sweating from that because of just the ambient temperature.
Yeah.
But the my padding and stuff inside the helmet wasn't getting too hot. Let's just split to the front of this light.
Watch out for help in your truck.
Ugh, that's tight. Alright.
Man, there's one part of my bike that is just scalding hot. Every time like my inner thigh touches it, it's like...
Oh, the exhaust?
No, not the exhaust. Like my upper knee, like just right under the gas tank.
Yeah.
Feels like...
Hot spot from the engine heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pretty much go straight, and then Cook's Corners on the right and Live Oak Canyon's to the right, and then I think it's... I can't remember the name of the canyon road, but if you go to the left and you just keep going straight on this road, it's the road that a lot of biker groups will do their rides on.
Okay.
But it's not super twisty or anything. It's just kind of scenic and easy. Live Oak Canyon's more technical, but the speed limit's 35.
Oh, that makes sense.
Of course, my Night Rider video is probably doing at least double that.
Oh, of course. They always say whatever the sign says, you can do twice that much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's for corners.
For turns, yeah. Oh, I thought it was in general.
No, well...
No, I'm just joking.
No, not so much. There's a lot of canyon roads, like Angela's Crest, that if you were to take it 110, you'd be off the road. So, as you can see, the view is nice.
Uh-oh.
Ah, shit.
Here comes my endo.
One of the annoying things about the Diavel is the ABS, even if you shut it off, it turns on every time you restart the bike.
Oh.
So you can't... I wish they would just let you map it to the ride modes, but it's just an annoying safety feature they added. But for 99% of the riders out there, they're going to want the ABS on. But with the 1098 Speed Triple and all the other bikes, the Diavel is actually the first bike I've owned with ABS.
What was it like getting used to it when it first started kicking in, like the first time you rode it?
It's just weird. Like, you don't ever use it mid-corner. I don't know that it would help you in a super crazy emergency situation if you're making dumb braking decisions mid-corner, like, oh shit, here's a bunch of gravel. I'm going to assume that the ABS is going to save me. Not so much. It's going to try, but you're probably screwed. It's better just to stay off the brakes and try to let the chassis and the tires do their work, but it was weird. Like, the first time that I caught a red light at the last second and had to emergency brake, the front end skidded and the rear end skidded. Like, it like cuts off the brakes, and it feels really spooky when it happens. And then it shitters back on, and I know I've seen a bunch of tests, and the Bosch system that is on this bike is really, really powerful. They actually had to dial it back because it was so aggressive. But I've seen tests where people are like in the rain doing weaving, and they hit the brakes like mid-curve, and it does its job. It stands the bike up and stops the bike really quick. which you wouldn't be able to do if you grabbed a handful of brake without it.
Man, they have a lot of faith in that.
Yeah, but the same token, it's really weird to get used to. But it's one of those things that once you've got it, as long as you're able to disable it, if you're into stunning and doing stoppies and stupid shit, that's cool. But it would also be nice to be able to disable it quickly to like lock up the rear brake and turn your bike really fast, do tail slides and stuff. But for the most part, once you've got it and you get into a few emergency situations, like when I was riding Modjeska Canyon in one of my videos, I was coming down the hill at the very end and there was a pickup truck at the stop sign. Well, I wasn't even braking real hard, and because the bike was going downhill and the rear end was getting light, I actually did engage the ABS. And if I didn't have the ABS, I probably would have slid just barely into the back of that pickup truck. So let's turn into Cooks and just do a run. Oh, cool. There's a 1198 or something out here.
Oh, look at that Corvette.